Ladies and gentlemen, SuckItUpUSA.com presents Suck It Up MMA Live. No excuses, no quit. With your hosts, positioned firmly in front of the control board, and out of the red corner, Tom McManus! Across the desk, and out of the blue corner, Larry the Professor Sheely!
Let's answer the Zions hotline, shall we?
The Zions hotline, here we have
go.
it.
Let's do that. Let's bring him up.
Would you like a Zions drink while I'm...
Yeah, would you? I need some B12, man. Get it B12. Going. Absolutely. Chris Gritz Gruetzemacher out of the MMA Lab in Glendale, Arizona is our guest. Let's welcome him to MMA Live. Chris, good afternoon to you. Good morning out there for you, afternoon for us, but thanks for taking the time to join the Professor Larry Sheely here and Tom McManus on MMA Live. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Like you said, man, it's the morning here, so I just woke up not too long ago.
You just woke up, man. You got a big now. How you're getting closer to this big fight, March 31st? Where are you at as far as training? Are you tapering it down? Or are you still in that full? I got about another week of some tough work going on. Finish this week out, but I mean, I'm almost done with the hard stuff, man. Before we start tapering down. Well, would you give yourself a week, Chris, when you start tapering down? How does that normally go?
Yeah, usually about a week. I usually give myself about a week before, to kind of cut weight, relax, rest. Mostly just trying to sweat. No more tearing myself down. No more getting bruises from teammates. Just relaxing, man. Just trying to get mentally ready for the fight.
Healing a little bit, I would presume.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Healing a little bit from all those little, bruises and hits and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I lose a little bit of weight just by healing. All the swelling and the bruising. Once that kind of goes away, I feel like I drop a pound just from that.
Just from the bruise. Now, Chris, let me ask you a question. You're fighting at 145, right?
Yes.
Well, what type of weight do you have to cut? Do you go up, or do you stay close to the 45 throughout your camp?
I usually jump up about. I usually cut 15, so I usually bump up 15. So okay. I'm usually walking around 15 heavier than what I actually weigh in at.
Okay, very good. Very good. Now let me ask you, shift gears a little bit, Chris. Your background, what would you say your go-to? Are you a jiu-jitsu guy? Are you a striker? You good at all of it? Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys are good at all of it, but how would you, if no one has seen you fight before, what would you tell them how you fight, if that makes any sense to you?
Man, a winner. A winner for sure.
Yeah.
Like you said, we train to do everything, man. So
right.
Honestly, I feel real comfortable. On the fly, man. I mean, I can't be the best everywhere. Obviously,
right.
You're training, you're doing different things, so if you're not paying as much attention to one area, you're getting better at another.
Like,
but,
did you come in as a wrestler?
I feel like I can, in the midst of the fight, you want to game plan for who you know, but everybody I've fought so far has kind of been a mystery to me.
Right.
And this really isn't, much different. So, honestly, I've been pretty comfortable being able to take the fight wherever it needs to go. Not necessarily, being able to battle them at what they're great at. You kind of figure that out real quick.
Right.
But, being able to change the game and take the fight where I need to take it to win.
Right. So you're as comfortable standing.
Standing up, where I need to wrestle defensively or offensively, or be on my back or be on top to win it. We'll do it.
A well-rounded fight. I mean, you guys have to be, Chris, don't you? I mean, you guys, with the amount of competition out there, and you got to be well-rounded. You got to be able to be at least pretty decent at pretty much everything. Correct?
Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, you have to. I mean, there's if for nothing else, man, there's somebody who maybe doesn't train wrestling or doesn't train, but is great on the ground. So
right.
You either need to be defensively worried about what happens if I slip on a banana peel and I end up on the ground, or you need to work on those other things to not be in that position. And you never know who you might run into. You might find a guy who, some boxer who decides, man, I think I can knock some of these MMA guys out. Okay, well, now you don't want to stand in front of a boxer, so you either got to wrestle him down, or
right.
You got to keep away from his boxing and kick him.
What got you into mixed martial arts? Were you always into martial arts? Were you a wrestler growing up? What got you involved?
Man, as a little kid, I used to live in this little town in Page, Arizona,
okay.
And it's like on the border of Utah, and man, we had this one video store, man, that like was open 6 days a week, but you know, it was closed on Sunday. So the only time we ever got to go rent movies was on Saturday, because then we got to pay the same price, but we got to keep it for an extra day. And you know, it's funny, like, you know, you think of those old, because they don't really exist anymore. Movie stores don't really exist anymore, but
right.
Like an old style movie store, you know, had its martial arts section. Man, I'd walk in and I just boom right to the martial arts section. Man, I wanted to be a ninja. Probably till I was like 13 or 14, no joke.
And did you get Did you get into it that early?
No, man. I used to beg my mom. I mean, anything. And we moved around a lot when I was a little kid, man. So anytime I could see like a boxing, like I saw just a studio, I said kickboxing, whether it was legit or not, man. Mom, please let me sign me up, please. And she wouldn't put me in it, man. So you know, I got a taste for wrestling like probably in 8th grade, and I started kind of then at the end of the season wrestling, and then you know, I wrestled in high school, man. That's kind of where I got. That was the only real combat sport, I guess you could say, I got to be involved in, because it was part of the high school, you know.
Yeah, and it seems like such a natural transition from wrestling into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the grappling and what goes on down on the ground, plus the conditioning. I mean, I played football my whole life. We're conditioned, but nowhere near like you guys are. But that had to be a natural, you know, kind of progression for you. You got into MMA. Is that true?
Well, actually, man, I didn't hop into this right away. I didn't even the idea. I mean, I guess I mean, in my heart, I wanted to see if I could do this. I mean,
yeah.
I really did. But like, I used to tell myself, man, like I didn't come into the gym thinking this is what I was going to do. I just kind of came because I was a fat kid, man. I always wrestled in high school, so it kind of kept me in shape.
Right.
And I started working at a gym, and I used to just work out, man. I got really fat, to be honest, and I just didn't like the way I looked, man. And I liked how I felt when I wrestled. So I thought Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would be kind of like wrestling, and it sort of is, but in a lot of ways it's not at all. And I thought, well, man, if I can do that, man, I can get back in like that great shape that I used to feel like, man. You know, get the girls looking at me again, because I wasn't having any girls looking at me. So I basically just walked in to get in shape, man, and I just kind of kept training, and you know, more like fighters actually started coming here, so I started working with them and just got better, man. And then it just became one of those things. Hey, man, do you want to try this? So I just I was already living the lifestyle, man, before I really even decided to take a fight. You know, like I was training like a fighter before, you know, I even took my first fight.
Well, you're 8-1, as you know. I mean, obviously you're pretty damn good at it. How long you been competitively fighting for, Chris?
Now like 4 years.
4 years, man. You're 25. You're in your freaking prime, man. It's incredible. Incredible. Well, you got a big fight coming up March 31st. Frank Gomez, who's 10-4. What does he bring to the table? What can you tell us?
I don't really know too much about Frank Gomez, man. I think he's kind of a wrestler from what I understand. I would say the most of though is the experience, man. He's been to a bigger show than I've been, and you know, he's obviously had a few more fights. He comes from a great camp, you know. So I'd say one thing, experience, man. I'm not to just be, you know, smart. You know, you can be tough, you can be strong, but more than anything, you got to be smart. So I'm just gonna have to be smart in this fight. Just make sure, you know, I'm on my game, man. So I get no surprises.
And you mentioned earlier you like dictating everything. It's not what they're doing. It's what you're doing. You're the aggressor. Is that how you approach every fight, pretty much? Basically, man. You know, I always so far it's like again, man. Every fight I've had, there's no tape. There's nothing for me to see. So you know, I have to kind of go out there and just kind of feel it out, watch. Okay.
Be very observant, and then dictate what I'm going to do. If I get a guy who comes out who wants to, you know, I've had a few fights where somebody comes storming out like they're like, you know, a race car at me, and I've had to adjust on the fly and kind of start the first half of the fight, you know, kind of moving backwards a little bit, because this guy's, you know, if I standing or going forward, I'm just going to get hit, or you know, who knows what's going to happen. But you know, the other guys are more cautious. Where okay, now I have to be the aggressor and have to push forward, you know. So. And there's that balance. Like I'm not going to run, but you know, I'm not going to sit there and stand in front of you just so you can knock my block off with everything you got. You know, so I'll slip, move, catch a punch, and then return. You know, whatever the case may be.
That's great.
Maybe take it down. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, Chris, you got to be excited too about this venue. You got some pretty big names on the card with you.
Yeah. To be honest, man, this is for me is like. the first. This is like my opportunity. I feel like I've been doing this, and I really haven't been doing it. I feel like this has just been, like a hobby. Like I've been doing a hobby full time, being broke and starving and just being hungry, man. And this is the first time now, finally, I got an opportunity to make some money, to be on a bigger stage, to actually like get some, let people know, man, this is what I actually do, man. People actually maybe have, friends, family, people who live in, the city I live in might be actually get to see me, do what I do. There's a lot of people who know that this is what I do, and they've heard from other people that I do, but this is an actual chance, an opportunity for somebody to see what I can do, and I'm super stoked about this, man, 'cause it's been a lot of work, and I'm not even joking. I mean, I'm starving. Like, I'm starving. Like, I might just walk in there and eat Frank Gomez alive, to be honest. I'm so hungry right now.
Attaboy, that's great. When John Crouch told me about you and the show you're on, I looked it up and I started seeing the Cairo Parisians and the Thomas Denny's, and I'm like, wow, this is the real deal. Yep. So congratulations to you on that. Now, one thing I want to ask you, and I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. I go back a long way with John Crouch. Tell me, how is it to train under Big John?
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
He kind of expects a lot from you to be on the team. He wants you to be there every day. You got to be there every day. It's got to be. And but it's a lot of fun, man. Crouch makes training not like work.
Yeah.
So it's just like anybody else, man. He keeps it fun, so we can train hard and take our lumps, but we stay the team. We kind of stay like in that family, I guess genre a little bit, So I mean, it's great, man. I couldn't see myself really training anywhere else, man.
Plus, you're surrounded by a lot of talent too, so that can only make you better and it helps you make them better. Yeah, the team you guys have. Share with some of the guys that you're training with now, Chris.
I'm sorry, say that one time.
Share some of the guys. Tell us a little about some of the guys you're training with. Who's helping you with your camps? Who gets you ready for fights? And who do you help get ready for fights?
Well, I mean, it's always good to put on your team roster, man. You got Ben Smooth Henderson you train with, and Efren Escudero, which are two some tough UFC lightweights right there. I got and then we've got a great group of guys, man. Kelly Oser, Victor Meza, Yadi Meza. They got two brothers, man. Who you got to watch those guys, man. They're savages. You can't get two brothers scrapping with each other, man. They fight way harder than they do with everybody else for some reason.
That's right.
I don't know why.
Now, so Efren has a fight coming up too after yours, right? Efren's got a big fight coming up.
Fight Mac Danzig in the 21st of April in Atlanta.
Hey, that rings a bell.
Yeah, we'll be up there for that. Looking
I
forward
hope
to that.
to be up there too, man.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
You're going to be there?
I hope so, man.
Yeah,
I'm trying to work on getting there, man.
If you guys are, we're going to be doing some shows there. Want to meet you guys live and just continue with the growth in this sport. That's what we're doing, and obviously you guys are too.
Hey, Chris, the dream of a MMA fighter like yourself is it to get to the UFC? Is that the ultimate goal?
Yeah, I mean they're right. I mean they're the NFL, the NBA, the MLB of the sport. I mean that's the UFC is the ultimate. If I had to end my career somewhere, that's the hope.
That's the way
there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, man, congratulations on your success so far. We wish you the best of luck. We've had John Crouch on this show before, and I tell you what, man, what a very likable guy. And I know you fight out of the MMA lab in Glendale, and you guys got a lot of pride, and I know you take that with you every time you fight. So best of luck on the 31st, and we're pulling for you, and we really appreciate your time, man. I tell you, I did make it to the NFL, but. And that was a great dream to be realized. But I love guys like you or people like you that are just getting after it and chasing it and working their ass off to get there, man. Because at the end of the day, that's the only way you're going to get there is by working that tail off. And you're doing it, man. So best of luck, and thanks for joining us here on MMA Live on the Suck It Up Radio Network, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thank
beautiful.
You, Chris.
There you
Bye
go,
now, man.
Gritz Gruetzemacher. Out the door. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, he's getting after it. He's getting after it. What a shot of a lifetime for him, huh?
I liked his answer. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I liked his answer when I asked you, what kind of style you fight. I'm a winner.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, I was actually, through his 8 wins, 3 came submission, 3 came knockout. So sounds like he's
Very
pretty versatile and well-rounded, that he could take it to the ground.
This has been a production of SuckItUpUSA.com and EIGProductions.com. Heard exclusively on the Suck It Up Radio Network.